Hello guys, welcome to another section. So in today's video we are going to do a part 2 of creditors reconciliation statement. So in today's video we managed to open two accounts, which is going to be debit side and credit side. So remember, on the previous one we were just doing a calculation on the list according to the answer book that they provided to us. So in today's video I'm going to explain to you how you should answer creditors reconciliation statement if you are given two columns as well as the balance column. So please make sure that you watch the entire video so that you will understand step by step, so that you won't have any problem when you write your examination. Okay, so let's start with our question. So the question that they give us, they said creditors reconciliation statement. You are provided with the information from the record of work for trader for May 2023. Okay, then they said the balance of the creditors control account and the total of creditors list were not the same. Remember, everything that we have to record under creditors control account, this is our books, it must be the same as creditors reconciliation or creditors list. This is the statement from our suppliers, or you can also call it a creditors statement. So whatever that we record this side must be the same with this side. So in this question that they provided to us, they say that the balance for this one is not the same with this one, which means that we have to do what? To rectify that so that we can get the same balance. Okay, so the other principle that I want to introduce before we proceed is that, guys, remember, these two accounts must swap each other. So if we debit amount on the creditors control, which means that when we go to creditors reconciliation, we must credit whatever that we credit here, we debit here. So they must do a swap. So if we record 500 this side, even this side must be 500. Okay, so that's what we are going to do, or that's all about creditors reconciliation statement. We are making sure that the balance of this side is corresponding with the other side. Okay, then they said explain why the balance in the creditors control account in the general ledger should be correspond with the total of creditors list extracted from the creditors ledger. Provide one point. So for this one, let me just give you an example, guys. Let's just say you have 100 rand and you want to give your friend that 100 rand. So if you give your friend 100 rand, on your side you recorded that you paid your friend 100 rand, which means that if your friend must record that she or he received 100 rand. So which means that if she said she received 80 rand on her book or on his book, simply means that there is no correspond. Your books are not corresponding, which means that you have to make sure that you rectify that. And how do you rectify something that has been already recorded? Very simple. You don't have to crash. What you have to do is to make sure that you record the difference between those two balances, which means that your friend is the one that must record another 20 rand so that it can add with that 80 rand and make 100 rand. Okay, so you don't have to show the crash and say that I have cancelled this one and I'm recording from the scratch. No, we don't record from the scratch, but we record the different. If item has been already recorded but in an incorrect way, so we're going to meet those kind of transaction. Okay, then for this one of explanation, I'm just gonna show the possible answers that they provided on this solution. Okay, so the question paper, or the main question that we wanted to answer in this question, is 1.3.2. Complete the table in the answer book to reconcile the balance in the creditors control account and the creditors list. Okay, and they said show increase and decrease. Okay, that's not a problem. I'm going to show you this side. All right, so when we are talking about creditors control, this is liability. Liability increase on the credit side and decrease on the debit side, which means that when we go to a creditors reconciliation or creditors list, it's going to do a vice versa. Okay, which means that this side is going to be plus because this side it was minus. So this side will be minus, then you get the balance. Okay, then now let's go to information. Information number A, they say the balance of the creditors control account on 31 May 2023 is amount of 111,340. Okay, and the total of creditors list is 78,480, which means that we have to start by the balance before we go to investigation of those transactions that they face error and omissions. All right, which means that 111,340 is for creditors control. We're gonna say a balance, and we don't record it under debit or credit. We record it under a balance. Okay, 111,340. Okay, and we also have balance of 78,408. Okay, is the balance. All right, now we are done with the balance. Number B, an investigation revealed the following. Number one, they said a creditors list was added up incorrectly and it was understated by 960. So the word understated, you have to understand it properly. When they said understated, which means that they record it by a lesser amount. If it's understated, you have to go and add. But if it's over, which means that they exceeded, they recorded more, which means that you have to go and subtract. Okay, so if you check, they said on the creditors list, which means that we have to go and rectify that on the creditors list. Okay, so now our creditors list is this one. It's the same as creditors reconciliation or creditors statement. Okay, so we're going to say is understated. It's understated. Now the question is, which side are we going to record? Understated, we have to go and add. And remember, under reconciliation, we add on the debit side, which means that our amount of 960 is going this side. Okay? Remember they say that you have to show the side, but because we open two columns, it's not a problem because this column is indicating that it's a plus. This one is indicating it's a minus. Alright, which means that after that we have to say 78,000 plus 960. Okay, and it's gonna give us 79,440. 79,440, which means that each and every transaction that we adjust, we have to make sure that we also do what? A balance. Okay, then the following one, they said the creditors control column in May 2023 cash payment journal was 16,400. In other words, we have paid an amount of 16,400, but this amount was credited to the creditors control account. This amount was credited to creditors control account, our books. It has been credited. In other words, they show that the liability has increased. Why liability must increase while we pay? It doesn't make sense, which means that there is an error. There is a mistake that they conducted here. They increase liability. So what do? We have to rectify that. We have to make sure that we rectify the mistake, and the second one, we do the right thing. Remember, if you just go and credit and debit to show that you are cancelling an amount of 16,400 and you just leave it like that, you simply means that you cancel but you didn't record it was supposed to be recorded, which means that this is the same case where we have to record this amount twice. Okay, it's amount of 16,400. Okay, so what do? We have to multiply this 16,400 by 2 so that the first one is gonna cancel the mistake and the second one is doing the right thing. Okay, if we multiply this amount 16,400 by 2 is gonna give us 32,800. 32,800 is on the debit side to indicate that we are cancelling and we are reducing the liability on the second one. Okay, so this is correction of error. Okay, this is correction of error. You can also show the calculation this side, guys. 16,400 by 2. Okay, then after that, remember, you have to calculate the balance now. But because this side is a minus, you must say 111 minus 32,000. Okay, which is going to give you 78,540. Simple as that. Simple as that. So if it's on the credit side, you are going to add. Okay, now let's go to the next one so that you can understand better. A credit purchase invoice of 3,920 on 30 May 2023 was not yet recorded. So they didn't specify whether it was not recorded on the creditors list or on the creditors control account. Simply means that on both sides is not yet recorded, because they didn't, if they only specify that it was on the creditors reconciliation, which means that we were going to record only this side. But in this case, they said a credit purchase invoice of 3,920 on 30 May was not yet recorded, which means that this amount is not anywhere. Okay, it's amount of 3,920. 3,920. We purchase on credit, which means that we increase our liability. 3,920. Okay, it's a credit purchase. Now remember, I said that if we record an amount on the credit side on our creditors control, we must also adjust it on the debit side of creditors reconciliation. Simple. Okay, which means that because it's on this side, now it must come this side. This amount we are recording it on both sides because they said it's not yet recorded, which means that it's for all statement. Okay, this is invoice. Okay, so now we have to calculate the balances, then we proceed. Okay, which means that in this one we are going to say 78,000. We check the last one and we add 78,540 plus 3,920, which is going to give us 82,460. 82,460, just like that. Okay, and this one 79 plus 3,920, which is going to give us 83,360. Okay, we just added this one and it gives us this one. All right, but now we still have one transaction that we have to deal with so that we can check whether it is balanced or not. So if you're enjoying this video, guys, I will really appreciate it if you can just subscribe and like this video and share with friends so that I can get more views. The more I get more views, guys, I have a power to do many videos, as many as possible. Okay, let's proceed. The last transaction that we have is about a return. Okay, a goods return to supplier of 1,000 was entered correctly in the cash allowance journals and posted accordingly to creditors control account. In other words, this side they recorded everything properly and accordingly. Okay, but they said it was however posted as 100 rand to creditors account in the creditors ledger. Okay, in other words, but when it comes to reconciliation or creditors list or ledger account of our supplier, they recorded it as a 100 rand. They said we return 100 rand, and it's wrong. We didn't return 100 rand. We return 1,000, which means that we don't crush that 100 rand, but we are going to check what a difference between 1,000 and 100 rand, which is going to give us 900. So that 900 is the one that we are going to do what? To adjust. Okay, we are going to adjust. So now the question is, which side are we going to adjust a return? Remember, a return is reducing what? Our liability. If we return goods, which means that we no longer owe anyone because we return them, which means that it's reduced this side. When we go to statement, it's gonna go to the other side to show that we don't owe them this money because we have returned. So which means that our 900 is going this side. 900. Okay. Then it's a goods return. Okay. So if you take 83,360 minus 900 is gonna give you 82,460. So if you check on our creditors control account, we have balance of 82,460, and even this side we have 82,460, which means that we did everything correctly, accordingly, and everything in this case is perfect, is total, which means that you are going to get it right. So creditors reconciliation is very simple, guys. It's a very simple and straightforward. So please make sure that you get another questions, and I will try to add up more videos related to this one so that you can gain more principle. But the principle that we lay down in this case is applying everywhere. In any question paper that you might face which is related to creditors reconciliation statement, this is what you have to do. As long as you understand that when we deal with our books, liability increase on the credit side and decrease on the debit side, and when we go to supplier statement, we do opposite. You are going to get everything correct. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Lastly, thank you so much for choosing my channel. Accounting solution is growing very fast. Let's keep watching, guys. Let's keep liking the videos. Let's keep subscribing. See you on the next one. Goodbye.